All right, guys, this is a members only video. I don't intend to share this with the general public. And I am interested in what kind of content you guys would like. For today, I'm going to discuss a bit about logistics. In particular, I've been crunching for a few days the logistics of traveling across Bolivia from Argentina to southern Peru, Puno, Peru, to be exact. There is something I wish to see near Lake Titicaca in Bolivia that I'm well aware of because I've been really close to it in the past. But due to COVID restrictions, I could not cross the border in Bolivia to see it. The rest of Bolivia that I'm all across through the mountains, basically I'm gonna go through the entire Andes range to get there. It would just be icing on the cake. But I only get 30 days. That's the legal requirement. It's going to cost me $160 to get a visa because one of our past presidents pissed off the president of Bolivia. So Americans have to pay a steep entry fee. It's good for 30 days. Apparently, if you leave, you can come back for another 30 and then leave and come back for another 30, get a total of 90. I'm not sure how quick or when the visa expires. I guess I'm going to find out. At any rate, I also got a lot of other things I want to do. So that's the first catch. The other catch is this. The only buses I can get are coming in really early in the morning, so I cannot find Bolivian currency in Peru. The odds of me finding somewhere to exchange money from a bus are low, period, because it's not my car. I can't pull over wherever I want and go do things like exchange money and get some local cash. Additionally, in Tarija, okay, I butchered that word, but it's close I can get it right now. There is only one ATM. I think it's a FEI. I'm saying it in English and not the way they pronounce the letters. They would say it differently. The odds of that one working on Monday morning early before they refill it with cash from the weekend is incredibly low. The odds of the machine actually functioning is probably pretty low because it probably gets a hell of a lot of use. So, I only have three $20 bills. I'm not going to give those to customs to get in the country. I suppose I'm going to have to give customs two $100 bills and hope they give me change in one currency or another. If they don't, so be it. If they don't give me change, I'm absolutely going to need at least one of those 20s to get a ride from the bus terminal to either my hostel or the Western Union office or an ATM. I've been finding that the Western Unions are more predictable and usable than the ATMs of late. All subject to change. Other things, you have to show proof of onward travel to cross into Bolivia. Apparently, gringos get extra scrutiny because, one of our past presidents pissed them off. Hey, that's the way it goes. And it seems with the hate and forced deportations, things might get worse for American travelers going forward in the next 4 years, if you get where I'm coming from. I'm not being political. I'm just saying that's the reality of the situation. Should that come to be, I will just get a lot more motivated to gain residency and citizenship in an additional country so that I can make my way around those restrictions, at least in Latin America. Like I said, I'm kind of digressing in all sorts of directions. Hey, I'm also curious if you guys like these vertical videos or if you like them in the letterbox shape, as I'm thinking most people are watching this on mobile these days, but your input would be wonderful. So I talked about you got to pay $160 to get in the country. It might cost me $200 in reality. I also thought that you have to have proof of Onward travel. I can get that for less than $20 on onwardtickets.com. You also have to show proof or at least the address of where you are going to stay, where your hostel or your hotel is, I can do that. That's going to be easy. Feel like I'm leaving something else you have to do. There's few. Bolivia is not one of the easy ones to cross as an American citizen. Let's see. Oh, additional issues. I'm going to travel to Salta in a couple of days, Salta, Argentina, and from there I will travel to Bolivia. I attempted to buy my ticket to Bolivia in advance. However, that's not possible online. So I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and buy it in person, which I'm well accustomed to that. It's no big deal. In some ways, I prefer it. So as soon as I get to Salta, early in the morning, I believe on Monday, I'm not absolutely certain. I could be fibbing. I'm going to hang around and try. I know there's 3 companies that are selling tickets. There might be more. That's just research I've done so far. And I'm going to attempt to buy one. I've already reserved a place to stay for, I believe, 3 or 4 nights, maybe more, I don't remember. At any rate, I'm going to try to see what I can get to work with what I've done. And once I have the ticket and know when it is, then I'll reserve a room for a couple of days because I have a few things to do. Number 1, get some local currency because there's a lot of places that only operate in cash, as in solo efectivo. And then, or maybe not first, then either after I get the cash or beforehand, I need a local SIM card so I can have some cellular coverage. I have no idea how the internet works in Bolivia, but let's just say internet is generally much better in Latin America than it is at home, especially in hillbilly country where I'm from, that being East Tennessee and Western North Carolina. So, I'm not sure how much connectivity I will have, how well I'll be able to upload videos, or if I'll even be able to make my phone calls using voice over internet protocol, which I've spoke about in previous videos. And then I'm going to just beat feet across Bolivia. I do intend to visit Sucre, named for an important general during the War of Independence for Latin America. He was one of Bolivar's favorite generals. He really had a lot of respect for him. He was assassinated, Sucre was assassinated due to some political intrigue. Read that as some politician or rich guy trying to one up and get something, and he thought that the best way to pull himself up was pull someone else down, or in this case, murder Sucre. That politician's name's lost to history. No, they know who he is, but I'm not going to repeat his name because what a lowlife. Anyway, he's not well regarded. At any rate, from there, I'm going to stop in one more city to split a long drive through the Andes and spend a night or two. And then I'm going to go to La Paz, which is the highest national capital in the world. No, they're not stoned. It's got the highest altitude. It's really thin air. And I probably will not spend much time there because I'm not really into big cities. And from there, I'll take a shorter ride really close to the Peruvian border so I can see the ruins near Lake Titicaca. See some of the awesome archaeology, some really impressive stonework, even compared to what you can see that the Inca did. And the Inca highly regard this area. So, there I'm not sure how long I'm going to spend, but I'll be a hop and a jump very, very close to the border with Peru and Puno, Peru. And I've already been there. So once I get to Puno, it's going to be like a well-known landscape. I know the lay of the land, and I know a lot of the bus schedules without even looking them up. From there, it'll be a matter how much time I have to rat around. Some more unrelated to what I started off this conversation about is what I'm going to do in Peru depends how much time I have. It appears that I will not be able to cross the land border between Peru and Ecuador due to a requirement that requires you to have a criminal background check. I requested mine well in advance of leaving the United States, but it never arrived. Either the FBI dropped the ball, or due to Helene knocking out a bunch of roads and causing a lot of other problems for Postal Service and packages, it never arrived. Maybe, like much of my mail, it got returned to sender because it couldn't be delivered to me following Helene, and the FBI got it back. At any rate, I spent a bunch of money to get that FBI criminal background check so I could cross the Ecuadorian border with ease and possibly start my quest for legal residency a little bit sooner. Being that that's the case, there's a strong possibility I may have to fly from Lima, Peru to Quito, which will not be cheap. But it's my best option, because if I go all the way to the northern border of Peru and they tell me no, it's a really, really long ways back to Lima. But there are some things just over that border I really, really want to see in Ecuador. But also kicking that around, it'd be a lot shorter bus ride from Quito to the border of Peru than it is from Lima to that border. And if I had to backtrack, it'd be really painful, and I don't know what the airfare would be, but I'm sure it ain't cheap. At any rate, I hope you guys find this interesting, and I'd like to get some feedback from you about it all. But that's my goal. I really want to spend 2 or 3 months in Ecuador after my visit to Peru. I will spend less than 1 month in Bolivia. I think I can do it in less time than that. I want to give myself more flexibility of what I see in Peru. I have some friends I want to see. I also have a buddy that is a really great guide in Peru in the Sacred Valley, and there are plenty of things that I still want to see there, despite the fact I've already spent a month and a half in the Sacred Valley. So if you guys got questions about Machu Picchu, or all the other wonderful things to see there, because there's a lot of really cool stuff that doesn't get the same coverage as Machu Picchu, but let's just say it rivals it, and it's a lot cheaper to see. You can get passes for multiple archaeological sites. They come 2 different ones. One's cheap for like a few days, and one's good for, I believe it's 2 weeks and more sites. But it's kind of complicated. I'm making it sound too easy. Machu Picchu is its own separate ticket, and there's a lot more demand for it, and it's trickier. Having a friend that's a guide can make it a lot easier. Hint, hint, hint. Yeah, I'm winking, but you can't see it. Anyway, there's more to come. You let me know what you'd like to hear about. I could probably go on and on about the stuff I want to see in Ecuador. There's some places near Loja and other really interesting places where some interesting indigenous cultures and beliefs that I really like to check out. And there's also this really badass Ecuador trend. I'm not going to try to pronounce it in Spanish, but it's called the Nose of the Devil. And it goes through these crazy switchbacks in a really high canyon that apparently scares the hell out of most people. Which is why I didn't get to see it last time I was there when it operated 7-8 years ago, because my girlfriend at the time was really skittish. This time I'm all alone, so I get to go see it if I can figure out logistics and the money to be there. And if I get that far south, I might just keep pushing down to Loja and see what's up. Anyway, I know it's really long. This is a members only video. I'm just sharing with you guys. I'm surprised how many of you have subscribed or become members, I should say. And I really do appreciate you. And it's about beer 30 here in Mendoza. And after I have a cold beer with a crazy Argentinian feller that I just got through chatting with next to the place I ate at, I think I'm going to wander back toward the hostels. I've met one of my friends that I previously met in Santiago, Chile at the beginning of this. Like, wow, that must be about 2 months ago. He's a Canadian. And while I was shooting crap with him, the owner of the other sister hostel to mine that shared the same common area come out and chat me up, and he invited me over to come do some free wine tasting for an hour this evening. I plan to be there because this guy, not only is he very knowledgeable, he's multilingual, so I can ask him really dumb questions in English as I'm getting too buzzed to do it in Spanish and learn a little bit more about the wine here. Malbec is the wine. You're supposed to have the best Malbec in the world here in Mendoza. That might be arguable, but let's just say the Copa de Vinos that I've been having, the cups of wine, glasses, really, really good with the food I've been eating here. So I'm not going to argue the point. They might be right. They probably are, because I happen to like that style of wine anyway. And I really enjoyed the versions they have here. Again, I know I'm beating a dead horse. Let me know what you'd like to hear, especially you members, and what kind of member-only perks and videos you would like to see coming down. I'm thinking about maybe just doing a little more brainstorming like these about logistics and things I'm thinking about that I don't really want to release to the general public. Peace out.